Okay, we're doing one of them new age Mohawk fades, fade into a Mohawk. Um, so it's my nephew Josiah. Very curly hair. What I like to do is when I'm doing like a big transformation like this kind of is, I like to get rid of all the bulk on the top. I start at the top first, which is I think maybe a little unorthodox, maybe not as much as I think it is, but it never made sense to me to fade into a whole bunch of hair that's not going to be there anyway. So now I'm going to take a 1.5, get rid of this bulk here on the sides. I try to blend it in as much as possible. I try to cut that top down to where I thought I was going to want it. I think I did. So we're just 1.5 here, get this bulk out. 1.5 blade. I use blades, not a fan of guards. There is one guard though that I really like, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Doing the same here on this side. I'm not pushing the clipper hard. By the time I'm at the end of my stroke, I'm really not even touching his head anymore with the clipper. Top of the clipper is always facing out, up and out. General rule of thumb. So you can see that's kind of already blended already. So now I'm using a 3/0 lever all the way up on a Oster fast feed, which is almost to the skin. I'm going to start my fade with that. Now I'm using a coarse clipper, lever all the way down, bump that line out as much as possible. Now this is that guard, this is number 0, 1/16. This guard is really good. Adjusting the lever slightly while you're using that and just hits that fade a little bit every time. Coarse clipper here a little bit. Knocking some more of that line out. Some clipper over comb. Blend that in with that. Shape it towards the back. With his hair being so curly, we gotta hit that with different angles. 1.5 here again. Probably going up a little bit higher. As the first time I used it, I just kind of was getting rid of the bulk. That's that guard again. That number 0, that 1/16, that's a great guard. That guard comes in a pack with these Oster fast feeds. I'm going to take this clipper over comb and knock this bulk out here, blend it. Back to a 3/0 on this side, start my fade. I'm going to bring this down. You'll see how I kind of bring it way down in the back there. That's because at that bottom we're going to put a point in. So I don't care about that hair being there. I want to bald that right out. Now with the coarse clipper, knocking that line out, lever all the way down, up and out, not pressing hard. Got that guard on there, that number 0. In between a coarse clipper and a 1.5. Blending the coarse clipper into the 1.5. Like I say, you adjust that blade up and down a little bit when you have that guard on there, and at any longer spots, it's just going to blend that right out. Now we're going up a little higher with that guard because the first time I was just taking bulk. Clip over comb in the back here where that point's going to be. Get some of that bulk out of there. Always looking in the mirror. Mirror is your best friend. Now we're putting the point in, using the mirror. Make sure it's even as possible. I balled out with my liners. A lot of people use clippers that are cut way closer than that. I'm not a fan of those. To each your own. That's part of being a barber or a stylist. It's whatever you want to do. It's your world. That's how you do things. Clipper over comb here. Tighten that up on the top. Basically with this hair so curly, at that point I'm just catching little things that I missed the first time. Now with these, with his bangs, combing those down, cutting those out, just so it's not so bulky in the front. I'm not super worried about it being super even because his hair just curls up just like that. It's always going to look like that anyway. Some thinning shears. Never overuse your thinning shears. A lot of damage can be done with thinning shears, so be careful with those. We're going to put our line in the front, starting in the middle. Work your way to one side a little bit. I never square up the edges until my line in the front is completely straight. Using the mirror a lot for lines. He's got that big bulky spot right there on his left side. You can see it right there. He's got a cowlick too in the middle. So I'm going to go back later with my 1.5 and knock that bulky spot down a little bit so it makes the line a little more crisp because of that cowlick. Now I'm squaring up the edges. Now I've done his line so many times I pretty much know what to expect with his. Right here we're going to knock that out with the 1.5, then crisp it back up a little bit more. That cowlick right there you can see. It's hard to get his line absolutely perfectly straight because of that cowlick. Just knocking off some edges here I'm seeing more than likely. Some long hairs, I mean. I'm going to fine tune it with the shears. Just barely cutting the ends, not really cutting much hair, just fine tuning it. And that's going to be that. We're going to put some lines in here. I rest the clipper on my pointer finger, which is touching his head. So I'm basically just rocking the clipper off of my finger, supporting it with that finger onto his head. And that'll be the haircut. So if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And I hope that you subscribe and share this video. We'll have more up soon. Thanks for watching.